if there's not some sort of late rush of activity, they're going to go into it looking really undercooked in terms of where they have been and where the squad sits at now. And they run the risk, in my eyes, of convincing Brendan Rodgers at that stage that, there's little point in hanging around beyond the end of this, his third and final season.
Yeah, listen, I think Brendan Rodgers will be bitterly disappointed at the lack of transfers this summer. I think losing, all goes back to Kyogo, losing Kyogo and not replacing him.
Yeah.
Losing Nicholas Kuhn, and not replacing him. Well, you can see they've kind of replaced him with the wee boy Shin Yamada, who can play wide, but it's not like for like. Kuhn was one of Celtic's best players, a regular starter. They haven't replaced him either. The problem you've got with Adamida, and he's persevering with him at the minute. £9 million is you've got to persevere with him. But you've got Dyson Maeda, who was the best player in Scotland last season, through the middle, now looking lost on the wing again. Who looks better and more comfortable through the middle. When does he change that? Does he drop Ida and play Maeda through the middle? Then who does he play left wing? Mm-hmm. So there's a real lack of options, I think, in the forward areas. James Forrest, who's been around Celtic for ages, still looks their best bet in the wide areas. So I think if you're Brendan Rodgers, you're looking at that clock ticking down to the deadline closes, and you're desperate to get one or two attacking options in, and not just guys that are going to come in and be squad players, guys that are going to come in and start every week. And that's what Celtic needs.
But I'm just struggling, Tam. I'm actually struggling to believe, because I've said all along, and by the way, I'll say it again, I do believe that Celtic will spend significant sums before the end of this window. But that's not the point. That's missing the point. The point is that Brendan Rodgers, quite rightly, has said his big ambition for the club is to drive them on and drive up the standards in European competition. And, they're about to go into a two-leg. Now, I know that the Kazakhstan club will be, I think they're 14-1 at the bookies to get through in this tie. And you would expect Celtic to be strong enough. But I just don't get why Celtic have allowed the manager to get into these games that mean so much with so many. I mean, Kuhn, as you said, Kyogo wasn't replaced, but Jota's on a treatment table until at least the turn of the year. I'm completely baffled by the fact that Celtic have allowed themselves to get into this position.